What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D, and once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning into my channel. So this guy, CENK from the Young Turks, he still doesn't get it. So after bending the knee to Charlie Kirk and all the MAGA crazies by going to a TPUSA event and doing nothing but creating sound bites for the far-right movement, this dude is now on X trying to defend himself to every progressive who are rightfully calling him out. He posted this, which I think he thinks is profoundly thought-provoking when all it is more proof that he just doesn't get it. I understand attacking turncoats who change all their opinions to appease the right wing, but I've changed none of my opinions. And it's stunning how many Democrats are saying just talking to MAGA is unacceptable. Are we never going to talk to each other? How is that inclusive? Dude, why are you trying to be inclusive with people who have expressed their hate for the people you claim to be defending? Exactly what was accomplished by going to that event. Charlie Kirk has said some of the most vile things about marginalized communities, so I'm wondering if CENK went there and questioned him about all of those things. And in case anyone has forgotten some of the things Charlie Kirk has said, here's him disrespecting some of the country's most successful black women by calling them affirmative action hires.
In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
He is talking about women with earned master's and doctorate degrees who graduated at the top of their classes. He's calling them DEI hires when, in contrast, he dropped out of junior college. Here he is saying MLK is a bad guy and the Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
Piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk's self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake.
And if that's not bad enough, here he is saying he would question if a black pilot was qualified or competent enough to be flying that plane.
And that's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard, because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off. And I feel better now thinking about that.
No, I mean, like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
But wait, there's more. Because here he is saying trans people are an abomination to God.
The one issue I think that is so against our senses, so against the natural law, and dare I say, a throbbing middle finger to God, is the transgender thing happening in America right now. We are in a church, and so it's important to remember Deuteronomy 22:5, a woman shall not wear a man's garment, nor shall a man put on a woman's cloak. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord your God. You hear that, William Thomas? You're an abomination to God.
But wait. There's even more, because here's Charlie Kirk saying gay people should be stoned.
So yes, everyone belongs, everyone's welcome, everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It doesn't say love every neighbor except. There are so many reasons I stand strong in love. I stand with everyone. That's who I am. And the love back and the God bless if you disagree is genuine.
Andrew?
I would just... To Jack's point, I'm dying to know, like, what do you think when Miss Rachel quotes scripture in that way?
I mean, Satan's quoted scripture plenty.
It doesn't just say love your neighbor, though. It does say love your neighbor except, in a sense.
As yourself, but hold on. She's not totally wrong when she says, yourself. First of all, the first part is Deuteronomy 6:3-5. The second part is Leviticus 19. So you love God. So you must love his law. How do you love somebody?
Here we go, folks.
You love them by telling them the truth, not by confirming or affirming their sin. And it says, by the way, Miss Rachel, you might want to crack open that Bible of yours. In a lesser referenced part of the same part of Scripture is in Leviticus 18, is that thou shalt lay with another man shall be stoned to death. Just saying. So, Miss Rachel, you quote Leviticus 19, love your neighbor as yourself. The chapter before affirms God's perfect law when it comes to sexual matters.
So my question to Cenk is, what type of progress did you make on reeling in some of Charlie Kirk's bigotry? What was accomplished for progressives by your visit to TPUSA? Did you even question Charlie Kirk about his hate towards people of color, trans people, and gay people? Is Charlie Kirk less bigoted and hateful due to your visit with him? Or, as we all suspect, is the only benefit of your visit the fact that you now have more viewers, which will lead to more money in your pocket? I know the thumbnail says he doesn't get it. And I know I started this video by saying he doesn't get it, but I actually think he gets it. I think he is a fraud. I think he knows he's a fraud, but I think the grift is so good, he's going to continue being a fraud. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.